All right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Wednesday evening. I hope everyone is doing well. This is just a quick video du jour, a review of open-ended games versus the Darkmaster. This was a Kickstarter. I did not back it on the Kickstarter, but I was able to get in on the late pledge option, and I was so happy that I did. You know, I come back from many years of role-playing and Rolemaster. I was not a huge fan of Rolemaster. We used to tease and call it Chartmaster. And then there was MERP, Middle Earth Role-Playing, which was basically a derivative of Rolemaster. And I wasn't a fan of that either because at that time I had read the books, but I just wasn't into them. But then along came HARP, High Adventure Role-Playing, HARP. Green cover with a dragon and an adventurer about to go into the cave and slay the vile dragon. And man, it caught me. The books were super cool. Cyrodiil, I think, was one, or Cyrodiil was the default setting for it, and they came out with a book. Those are still in print. You can actually go on drive-through or to, I can't think of the name of the game company now. It's going to kill me. But you can go on drive-through. If you just do a search for HARP or Rolemaster or even MERP, you'll find some of the stuff on drive-through. Remember to use my affiliate link. We'll save all of the other stuff for the end of the video. Those that just care about versus the Darkmaster, I want to go ahead and give you my brief review of versus the Darkmaster by Open-Ended Games. First of all, guys, if you're interested in this, if you're a fan of the old HARP or MERP or Rolemaster, and I'm just going to say HARP from now on because that's the one I'm most familiar with. If you're a fan of HARP and those type of games, this is going to harken back to some fond memories. If you like a little more crunch in your games and you want to do a little bit more math, and a great game for kids because it's going to make them use math, addition and subtraction, which I think is always a good thing. Anytime we can throw a learning curve in there for the kids, this is a great thing. Let me raise my mic so I'm not looking down. This is a great game. I haven't got to play it yet, but I've read the book, a large portion of it. Obviously, a lot of it is charts that you're going to reference as you play the game. And it's got its own little setting in here. It's so you're not playing in Middle Earth, you're not playing in Rolemaster, you're not playing in HARP. It's its own setting. This is an homage to all the old school role playing, the OSRs, like Rolemaster and MERP and HARP. But it's its own game, and I've seen a couple of reviews where the reviewer, in my opinion, I won't mention any names, but he's an asshole, and I don't particularly appreciate his reviews. I think he does more harm for the role-playing community than he does good, and those who follow my channel and follow my Discord know who I'm talking about. But be that as it may, I backed the same thing you could get on the Kickstarter minus the bonus rewards. So it was $100, and for the $100 I got a book of critical charts. Now this is something you could print out yourself. It's a couple pages. Does it give a page count? Yeah, it does. We're looking at a whopping 31 pages, and it is literally just charts, random charts and informational charts that you'll roll on. These are like NPCs. So the last page is the Dwarven Deep Sage, and it goes from level 1st to level 10th, and you basically can go down and get all the stats, the basic stats that you would need. There's all kinds of charts: wounds and recovery, attack, animal statistics tables, save rolls, magic fumble, magic attack spell modifiers, So this is a neat book that every player can have. It is fully in the PDF that you could download it and print the charts. The nice thing about this game, I will say, is once you pick out the peculiarities of the game and you understand that it is a chart-driven game, and you know that, okay, I'm a fighter, so I'm going to need my slashing critical chart, and I'm going to need my piercing critical chart, and my blunt critical chart. You can have those or put them in a binder or, loose leaf. They all fit on a page for the most part, and maybe front to back if needed. And then you'll have all your stuff, because once you make a character, and I will say character creation in this is quite fun. I enjoyed it immensely. I made a really cool Furbolg, which is a giant kin mage, a wizard, who was raised by elves. So, I mean, we went crazy, guys, but that's Mr. Mean. I don't do normal things. And I had a blast making him, and I actually went on the Versus the Darkmaster forums, and I asked a couple questions, and I called one of my friends who's also going to play in the game that I'm going to play in. I think my good friend Brian is going to actually run a session for us here soon. So I wanted to make sure I made my character correctly, and I got to say, it was a beaut. The cover artist, and I think the cover on this is fantastic, and I'm going to show the cover on the GM screen because it's easier to hold up. That is the cover off of the book, and it is also the cover of the GM screen. Now, before I get deep into the book, I've touched a little bit on character creation. If you like rolling on random charts and you like putting numbers together, you're going to enjoy this character creation process. It is not terribly difficult. It's laid out pretty well. There's one minor little nigglet for like mastery skills or what is it? I don't have it in front of me, and I don't know where my character sheet is right now. Let me see if I can pick it out of the character sheet. I will say they went the smart route, and they had Andrea Paparo, who is known for making character sheets for various games. They brought her in to redesign the character sheet, and I think she did a fabulous job. The character sheet is much easier to read and understand at this point. It's development points. Either I missed it in the book or it just didn't click with me. But the book, in my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, didn't do a very good job of explaining what skill points versus mastery points are. Or development points, excuse me. And they are two separate things, but they kind of do the same thing. I won't get into the mechanics of it because I saved that for you to read and you to interpret, and I don't want to skew your mind one way or the other. But I will tell you, read carefully. But once you figure that part out and you figure out how to spend your points, it's awesome. It's just you go down the list and you tick off some boxes on, okay, I have this skill, I have Arcana, I have Frost Lore, I have, tracking, and then as you level up, you get X amount of development points, and then those development points equate to skill picks. So it's very cool, and once you understand it, it's rock solid. But it took me a minute, and it could be because I'm a grognard and I'm old, and I just didn't, it didn't click. But now that I understand it, I get it, and I like it. But character sheet redesigned by Andrea Paparo, really done. Amber Sager, did the cover sheet. Andrea Paparo did the cover art. And like I said, I think the cover art is amazing, and then that's the art on the back. It gives me a very strong Larry Elmore feel on those days of like the Harp covers and the Rollmaster covers and MERP and the old D&D books and stuff. So that high fantasy, Dragonlance kind of feel. And I really like it. The book, like I said, is a tome weighing in at 563 pages. This thing is a beast. This is the version I got after the Kickstarter, but not part of the Kickstarter, but rightly after the late pledge, I guess is what they called it. It was $100 with $99 plus shipping. And it was packaged really well. My book is not dinged up as opposed to if I would have got it off Amazon. And we won't go there. But beautiful book. The interior art, black and white. You can see there's a dark spot almost in the middle of the book. That is a couple of pages of text and just full black and white art, page art. Really well done. Very, the Darkmaster and his evil minions and stuff. It's very cool. So the art alone for this book is amazing. If you like high fantasy art, if you like that Dragonlance style art, the Larry Elmore covers, you're going to love this. The art in here is amazing. Hardback, like I said, nice thick paper. It's easy to read. The font is a decent size. All the charts are very well laid out. It's stitched and sewn, stitched and glued, so it's not going to fall apart anytime soon. I have the PDF, of course, because when I bought it, I got the PDF as well. I would recommend carrying, if you're going to your friend's house, bring the PDF and a tablet, because this thing is a chunk to carry around. And of course, like I said, you're going to want that PDF, because you're going to have to print off whatever your charts are for your character. If you're a mage under these schools of magic, you're going to have X amount of charts. It is a fair amount of paperwork, but and to me, in the end, I think it's worth it. It's a percentile system. You want to roll high. The higher, the better. So it's going to be great. Well, you want to roll equal to or less than your percentage on a skill, but when you roll damage and stuff, you want to roll super high. So it is really good in that aspect. And obviously, the better you roll, the more of a bonus you're going to get to your roll. Excuse me one second. I'm replying to a friend here. Really good game, really good mechanics. I think you only need, all you need is some percentile dice. That's really all you need. So you don't need a ton of dice with this. Let's get to what I don't like. I don't like this GM screen. This is the GM screen. I don't know if you can hear that. It's heavy card, and it does have some sort of lamination over it. I will say I like the way it's laid out. I like the color variants that they use. It makes it very easy on your eyes to read, and this is most of the charts that a GM is going to need. I don't think they squandered any space. They put a little bit of art in there. There's charts on either end for the players. These are charts that the players would need. Conditions and action summary table. And I'm telling you right now, as far as the content of the GM screen goes, it is amazing. For the quality, I did reach out to Open-Ended Games, and they did reply back to me saying, hey, we're sorry you don't like the screen, but it is durable. I've been using it for over a year now, and it's held up. And I don't doubt that, but if you're traveling to games, if you're putting this in your backpack and you're going to Gen Con, or you're going to Dragon Con or London, UK, or whatever convention you're going to, this thing's going to get mangled because it doesn't have... I mean, it's plastic. Look, I mean, it's cardboard. It's laminated, heavy card. I don't think it's going to hold up. I personally am probably thinking of, I am going to cut it down the seams, and I'm going to put it in my Stratagem GM screen that I did a review. Go back in the cards and check it. It's $20 on Amazon, and it's worth every penny of it. So, not a fan of the GM screen. I know they say that it'll hold up to use and abuse, but I am doubt. Now, we'll see. I don't think I'll ever get to run this as much as I would like to, especially with a group at the table with the current situation in the world, but hopefully I'll get a chance. I am going to get to be a player with Brian's game, I'm hoping. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's what I love about the book, what I dislike about the GM screen. What do I dislike about the book? Nothing. This ticks all the marks for me. The art is fantastic. The layout is amazing. The readability of it is great. The construction, the quality of the book. It's heavy card, nice crisp pages. The art is crisp and clear. There's no blurry pages. Whoever they used to print did a fantastic job, at least on my copy. Your mileage may vary, but I'm telling you, this is it's a solid book. And like I said, it's very chart heavy. If you don't print out those I think this is one of those ones where you're going to want to have your PDF copy, and as a player, you're going to want to print out your charts. The GM is going to have the basics of their charts in here, but they're going to need some supplemental charts, like if they have a wizard, an evil wizard in the group, or a minion of the dark, they're going to need those tables. But for the most part, you've got the GM can probably roll with just this and their copy of the book or a PDF. I am fortunate enough to have a nice 12-inch iPad Pro, and I'm so vain as to have my my logo, as you see it upside down, and it's super awesome. All right, so what I was saying is, gorgeous book. Sorry, I had to take a phone call, so I had to pause the video. Gorgeous book, well worth it. Get the pamphlet if you can order it. I believe it may come with the GM screen. I'm not 100% sure. This came with, because I did, like I said, the after Kickstarter backing or whatever, the late pledge. So very happy with it. It was $100. I think it's a great system. The art in it is phenomenal. The system, like I said, is a percentage system, and then you add everything together and you get a total number, and you look on a chart and you see how well you did. And I think if I remember correctly, back in my days of harp, you'll get to the point where you kind of know where you're at in the ranges as your character levels up. You'll know that 160 is your total value is 160 is going to be a critical hit, and you're going to you're going to get that feel because it's a vested interest kind of thing. When you're into something like that, you care about those things, and those numbers will start to stick in your head. But it's an interesting system. The background is unique. The Darkmaster is not the Game Master. The Darkmaster is this evil entity that is been caged up and locked away and is starting to break free and influence the world where the heroes exist. And it's up to the heroes to be heroes and do what they do. And the Game Master obviously controls the Darkmaster. So and you kind of you get where it's going, just like any other fantasy or sci-fi game. You're playing the antagonist as the GM, and the players are playing the protagonist. So percentage-based system, interesting character creation system. I think you'll really like it a lot. If you like where you make choices and your choices have a meaning, and then that meaning equates to the type of character you want to play. And I think there are plenty of choices. There's plenty of talents that you can pick that set your character out from the rest. Like I chose a Furbolg. They're giant kin. They're typically not magic users. There's nothing that says they can't be, but they're typically more martial type characters. I decided to make a magic user. I thought it would be fun to do it, and plus the picture of the Furbolg in there is badass, so I really like it. So, and again, there's no difference male versus female. It doesn't matter. Your player character is just that, a player character. Your sex doesn't determine anything other than you choose to be a male or a female. So guys, I think it's really great. I think it's worth picking up if you're into these kind of in-depth, somewhat crunchy. I don't think the rules are super crunchy in my opinion. I think Pathfinder First Edition is way more crunchier than this, especially when it comes to making a character. You make a couple of choices here, you pick the options you want, you make a couple of dice rolls, and boom, you're good to go. So I think it's very intriguing. I can't wait to get it to the table and play it. I think, and what I will do is I'll do an after action report. I've also so let me back up. I'll do an after action report if that's warranted. Let me know down in the doobly-doo down below if you want to see that video. I look at every message. I read every comment that's put on the channel. So thank you to everyone who participates in the discussion there. So that's going to wrap up the video. It's definitely a buy in my book. I hope if you pick it up, or if you have it, if you back the Kickstarter, let me know what you think. Of course, down in the doobly-doo. This is the part of the video where the review is pretty much done. So if you're not into all the shout outs and the kudos and everything, feel free to stop watching now, and thank you for your time. But this is also the part of the video where I like to give a shout out to the people that support me and new subscribers to the channel. So I'm gonna scroll down here. And so like I said, you could stop watching now and you could move on about your day. Let me just see here. So I'm going to start from here because I think I've already mentioned these two, but we're going to start from here. Zachary Andreas Valerian, thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate it. Underfire 987, thank you for subscribing. Thank you to Joe Koo, who comments on a lot of my videos. Larry Hott, Fajuk was here. Thank you for commenting as well. Fajuk also has a channel. Go do a search for him on YouTube. You'll find him. He's on a quest to interview all the GMs. So good job on you, Fajuk. Good luck with that. You'll probably die long before you finish it. Tohawk also, he's a new member. He's a huge fan of the Dark Guy, and he has joined the mini army, and he's actually agreed to run a one-shot for some of the minis on my Discord. So thank you, Tohawk, for that. You are awesome, sir. Jason Hobbs, I've been doing a lot of stuff with Jason Hobbs of Hobbs Gamerhood. So if you haven't seen my Midgard playthrough for Low Fantasy Gaming, it's on Jason's network, and he's streaming it on Twitch. Go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. New subscriber, JTMC93. Thank you, sir or ma'am, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Who else? Jennifer Olson, thank you so much for subscribing. Nice to have a female among the mini army. You rock. I Crit, awesome name. I apologize for the sirens if you hear them in the background. Nothing I can do about that. And that's it for today. That's all the new subscribers. A big shout out to everybody who has liked and subscribed. Let's see how many subscribers we're up to. Last week we were up to 655. So let's see what we're up to today. We are up to 863. So we've grown 8 subscribers. So thank you guys. Whatever reason, sometimes YouTube always doesn't put the person, that doesn't tell me that a person subscribed, or some people fall off. You know, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. But we're trying to get to that 1,000 mark so that we can be monetized, which means I would make a little money off of videos for people that click on stuff and all that fun things. And as always, if you're a game designer or a game publisher and you want me to review your stuff, feel free to reach out to me at jpolack@gmail.com. That's jpolack.com @gmail.com. Excuse me, I said that wrong. jpolack@gmail.com. And I try to reply to all my emails, of course. And I always try very hard to at least give a like or a thumbs up for comments, but I do read them all. What else is going on? Oh, obviously like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Watch the videos if you can. Maybe put them on in the background while you're hobbying. That goes a long way for the YouTube algorithms, because you have to have X amount of hours watched as well. So it really helps out the channel if you just put it on in the background and, put it on mute. I don't care, but I hope you do listen to what I have to say. I hope you find what I have to say intriguing and informational and or entertaining. All of the above would be super cool. If there's a game that you want to see reviewed, obviously put it in the notes. Better yet, jump on my Discord channel. I have an open invite on my YouTube page. You can click on there. It'll take you right to my Discord where Mr. Mean speaks, and we talk about RPGs in the gaming industry. And we would love to have you over there. It would mean a lot. Our Discord channel is growing leaps and bounds, so I appreciate it. We're doing live plays. We're doing, I record them and then I post them, so they're not actually live. Hobbs is recording the Low Fantasy Gaming as a live play on Twitch. So yeah, I do have live plays. We also, we have a monthly show. I just don't have time this month. Real life has interfered. But next month I will kick back up my That Game, which is where I get 3 or 4 people, mostly Patreons and maybe 1 or 2 gaming industry people on the show, and we pick one RPG each, and we talk about why we feel it's influential to our lives and or the gaming industry. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming in March, probably the middle of March. It's usually on a Wednesday, second Wednesday of the month. So I'll get that out in March, and you'll be able to watch that. I've gotten a lot of good replies and comments on my game and instruction or opinions or whatever you want to call them. I did one on GMing, is it that hard really? And then on how to be a player. So I'm going to continue that segment with collecting RPGs. I think that's going to be the next video I do, because there's a lot of people out there. I know my buddy Brian has quite an extensive collection. I think his is probably bigger than mine. Remember, size doesn't count. It's quality. But Brian's got a lot of cool stuff in his collection as well. I think the Batman has a pretty decent collection. Mr. Kronos, aka Stephen Turner, has quite the collection as well. So there's a bunch of us grognards out there with huge collections of RPG books, and it warms my cackles to see that, and I'm glad that people are collecting. And so I think I want to do a collection video or just getting into the hobby of collecting RPGs, because that in and of itself is a hobby as well. So we'll go from there. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you'll see right above me, www.patreon.com/Mr. Mean Speaks is my Patreon. It is $5 a month. It gets you access to a special designator color on Discord, and it gets you put in a drawing for copies of rule books. And This month, for my Patreons, I will have a copy of Stranded going out to one lucky Patreon subscriber because I bought a copy and Jay over at Feral Games Inc. was so awesome. He sent me a copy. So I will send this out to one lucky Patreon subscriber. So look out for an email shortly from me if you're a Patreon subscriber. Also, it'd get you first dibs on any gaming sessions that I run. I seem to be a fairly competent and entertaining GM from what I'm told. I've been doing this for many, many years. So hopefully if you have the time and the inclination, you can get in on a game that I'm running, and Patreons get first dib on that. So as always, now I can say my tagline, as always, like and subscribe, and remember everybody, be nice.